Mystery at the Blind Frog Ranch. Dust clung to the tires as the ATV crept along the desolate stretch of road that cut through Blind Frog Ranch. Morning sun filtered through the cottonwoods, throwing dappled shadows over the rocky terrain. Birds chirped warily in the distance, as if sensing something was out of place. Something was wrong. At the edge of the property, near the old uranium pit that hadn't seen activity in over half a decade, a glint of metal caught the light. It wasn't there yesterday. Not during last week's drone scans either. A white trailer. Perfectly clean. No license plate. No markings. No tire tracks leading in or out. It just appeared. Like it was dropped from the sky. Nobody saw it arrive. Not the caretakers, not the drone surveillance team, not the secure cameras facing the western access point. The trailer just sat there, quiet, inert, humming with a strange tension, like the calm before a storm. Chad, the newest addition to the security crew, found it first. He didn't report it right away. Instead, he parked a distance away, watching through binoculars, expecting someone to come back to it. Maybe some lost campers, maybe some poachers, or worse. But by late afternoon, the silence remained absolute. No footprints, no signs of forced entry, just the trailer, gleaming under the harsh Utah sun. It was brand new, too new. Glossy white panels, factory fresh. Yet the dry weeds around its perimeter were undisturbed, growing up naturally, as if the trailer had been there for months. But that was impossible. Dwayne Ollinger, owner of Blind Frog Ranch, arrived with a team by dusk. He didn't like surprises, especially not on this land. It wasn't just any ranch. It was a place with secrets. Ancient petroglyphs. Cursed caverns. Strange lights underground. Whispers of buried treasure. And now, this. They approached the trailer with military precision. No one spoke. No one needed to. Years of strange events on the property had taught them to respect the unknown. Here was checked. Radiation meters on. EMF detectors sweeping silently. As they neared, a low clicking from the Geiger counter raised hairs. The levels weren't dangerous, but they weren't normal either. The signal was strongest at the trailer's rear door, sealed tight with a locking mechanism that didn't match any standard RV make or model. It was custom. Purpose-built. Of the crew knocked. Silence. Again. Harder this time. Still nothing. Dwayne gave the nod. They weren't going to wait for whoever, or whatever, had put it there. They were going to look inside. Cutting through the lock took nearly an hour. Steel reinforced. This wasn't cheap equipment. The walls were lined with a composite material, metallic, but lightweight, layered with a reflective thermal lining. It was designed to conceal heat signatures from above. A hidden lab? A surveillance station? Something worse. Inside, the air was cold. Too cold. There was no power line, no solar array, and yet the interior temperature was maintained at 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Batteries? Underground cabling? None visible. The walls inside were lined with soundproof insulation. In the center stood a single steel table with restraints on both sides, like something out of a government black site. On the table sat a silver case. No markings. No lock. Just a single latch. They opened it. Inside, 3 sealed canisters, labeled only with numbers -04, 06, and 12. Each was about the size of a soda can, wrapped in reflective foil and emitting a faint, rhythmic beeping. A digital reader embedded in the case flickered to life when touched. A series of glyphs scrolled across the screen, none of it in English, or Spanish, or any known language Dwayne had ever seen. And he'd seen a lot. The team backed out. The trailer was now considered a potential biohazard. Photos were taken, scans were made, and the perimeter was locked down. No one went near it until further analysis could be done. Back at the main cabin, Duane and Chad reviewed footage from every security cam within 2 miles of the trailer's location. At exactly 2:14 am the previous night, every single camera feed glitched. For 3 minutes, not static, not offline, a perfectly clean freeze frame, no sound, no movement, just a still image looped on repeat, holding the illusion of normalcy until 2:17 am, when the footage resumed, as if nothing had happened. The trailer appeared during that gap. Even the wildlife cameras caught nothing. The night vision recordings showed a strange fog rolling in, briefly, unnaturally fast, followed by a sudden distortion in the infrared spectrum. Then everything returned to normal, but the trailer was there. And that fog, it wasn't weather. Calls were made to contacts in Utah's State Patrol, Federal Forest Service, and even a few unnamed agencies Duane usually avoided. No one claimed responsibility for the trailer. No active research permits, no military exercises scheduled. No missing vehicles reported. But 2 days later, the canisters were gone. Break-in. No footprints. No triggered motion sensors. Only a burned outline of the case, as if it had vaporized in place. The trailer? Still there. Empty now. More disturbing was the discovery made 200 yards away, a perfect 30-foot wide circle of scorched earth. Beneath the topsoil, the ground had turned to glass. A fused ring, like something had microwaved the dirt at impossible temperatures. What caused it? No aircraft had passed over. No signs of lightning. No seismic activity. Just the ring. And a faint vibration still pulsing beneath the surface. Over the next few nights, strange lights began appearing near the old min shaft. Not orbs. Long, flickering arcs, like arcs of plasma crawling across the ground. Silent, elusive. Whenever someone got close, they'd vanish. Cattle on nearby farms began acting erratically. Migratory birds avoided the ranch entirely. One night, even the coyotes went silent. And the trailer? It began emitting a low hum at sunset, like it was alive. Monitoring equipment picked up odd frequency modulations, ultrasonic pulses, repeating in sequence. Code perhaps, a signal, or a warning. The team considered removing the trailer entirely, calling in hazmat, shutting the ranch down, but Duane refused. This wasn't just a trespassing incident anymore. It was a message. By week's end, the trailer vanished, just like it had appeared. No tracks, no warning, just an empty space where it once stood, the weeds still growing around it undisturbed. But something was left behind. A symbol etched into the rock at the trailer's last location. Perfectly symmetrical. Geometric. Deep. It wasn't carved with tools. The rock was displaced, molecularly rearranged, smoothed with impossible precision. Almost like laser cutting, but with no signs of thermal stress. It matched a petroglyph found deep within one of the ranch's caverns. A symbol believed to predate all known indigenous tribes in the region. A symbol that, until now, had never been seen anywhere else. Not above ground. Not in modern times. Not until the white trailer came. So what was it? An experimental surveillance drop? An extraterrestrial probe? A message from a breakaway civilization? No answers. Only more questions. The land remains quiet for now, but the ranch team continues to monitor. Drones sweep hourly. Ground sensors remain on high alert. Every glitch, every odd frequency, every shadow caught on infrared is logged and reviewed. They know the trailer might come back. Or worse, it never really left. Not completely. Because some nights, just before dawn, The hum returns, low, subtle, and somewhere beneath the soil of Blind Frog Ranch early light crept across the twisted canyons of eastern Utah, brushing pale gold over the sagebrush, sandstone cliffs, and the fence lines that marked the edge of Blind Frog Ranch. Dust still lingered in the air from the previous day's windstorm, casting a hazy veil over the horizon. The land was quiet, too quiet. Even the birds hesitated. A strange reflection caught the eye of the morning patrol as they followed their usual path down the old utility road. Half shielded behind a low ridge near the western property line, something bright pierced the landscape. Out of place, angular, white, a trailer. It hadn't been there yesterday. It hadn't been there during last week's surveillance flyover. There were no tire tracks in the dirt, no footprints, no bent grass or disturbed sage. It looked like it had been placed, deliberately, silently, without touching anything. The trailer was compact and boxy. Smooth aluminum siding glared under the sun. No markings, no visible windows, no license plate. A single narrow door was bolted shut with a reinforced lock. Not a scratch on the surface. Drones were deployed. Cameras circled. The trailer stood in it, like a forgotten relic from another time, placed with intent but without origin. The only sound was the desert wind and the soft ticking of the Geiger counter, which began to click faster the closer the team approached. Low radiation levels, non-lethal, but unnatural for this part of the property. Thermal cameras revealed nothing inside. No heat signature, no life. But something electrical pulsed from within, faint, rhythmic, measured. A battery? A beacon? Equipment? Whatever was inside didn't want to be found. Or it didn't care. The trailer's location was no coincidence. It had been positioned just above the suspected cavern system, an unstable and deeply magnetic region of the ranch that had resisted mapping efforts for years. Previous excavation attempts